Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am here to tell you about the time I met Janet Jackson. I became a Michael Jackson fan around March 2009, so around the time he announced his This Is It concert. So yeah, he was still alive. It was a better world. I was happy. I had no issues. I was not depressed. I was doing just fine. Like, I remember coming home every day from school because I was in middle school and checking for news about him. I usually went to TMZ just to check, new pictures of him. And yes, I mean, they were paparazzi pictures and Michael kind of hated paparazzis, but still, it was just great to see him shopping or answering the paparazzi questions, because I remember I'm just rambling, but I remember a video and he looked really good. Like, he looked like he was doing good. A paparazzi asked him, "Hey Michael, how are you doing?" And he was like, "Good, great." And I was just so happy to see him doing well. That didn't last long, but that's another story. So yeah, I became a Michael Jackson fan just a few months before he died. Lucky me. I also had my ticket to go see him in London. So fast forward to a few months after he died. So I was going through the worst time of my life. I was 14 years old and I was so depressed. I was so sad because of Michael's death. I don't know how I found out about this, probably through a forum, because back then we had no Instagram. We did have like YouTube, but it wasn't the way it is now. No Snapchat, no TikTok, no nothing. Like, we only had Facebook and forums and maybe MySpace. I was a member of a Michael Jackson forum and that was the main way to connect with other fans. So I guess this came out on a forum or on Facebook. I really don't remember, like, it's been a long time. I found out that Janet Jackson was gonna be in my city, Milan, on September 28, 2009. And she was coming here to attend this charity event where so many celebrities go. I think they still have it like every year, but not in Milan. Like, it can happen everywhere. Just that year was gonna be held in Milan, and I was like, okay, I need to go see her. So like I said, I was only 14 and I was in 9th grade. It was my first year of high school. I decided to write Janet a letter. I still remember where I was when I wrote the letter, and I was in classroom 202, the second floor of my high school. That was the science class. I wrote the letter during science class. I don't really remember what I wrote in the letter, like, I just can't remember, but I was mainly talking about Michael, which now I find so disrespectful towards Janet. I was just so heartbroken, so I was just letting all my feelings out in this letter. I wrote this letter and I was so dumb. I didn't even leave a contact. Like, I didn't leave a phone number, an email address, nothing. I signed it with my old nickname and that was it. But I decided to include in the letter some copies of Michael Jackson portraits that I had made. Those were my first portraits of Michael, so they looked nothing like the portraits I do now. They were pretty ugly. I mean, they were not ugly for a 13, 14-year-old, but still, they were pretty ugly. I decided to include some copies of them in the letter, so I put the letter and these copies in an envelope. I think I wrote something on the envelope and I signed it with my old ugly nickname. Again, dumb choice. And my plan was to get out of school and go straight to this event and just wait outside, just stand there waiting for Janet. So I went there with my friends. One of them was also a Michael Jackson fan. She was supposed to go see him in London with me. We had tickets for the same day. And then there was this other friend of mine. Like, we're like a trio, so we're like 3 very close friends. They decided to come with me and we all went to wait for Janet outside of this building. I think we got there at around 4 p.m. After like maybe an hour, 2 hours, my friends decided to leave because, I mean, they weren't that interested in seeing Janet Jackson. I was there by myself and I started talking to these other Michael Jackson fans that were there. There are still a couple of them I follow on Instagram now. Like, we're still in contact with each other. I mean, we don't really talk, but so I was just kind of talking to them, you know, because I was there by myself. I wasn't gonna just stay there. So we started talking, and I think that was my very first encounter with other Michael Jackson fans. I don't think I had ever met other fans in real life. Like, of course, I had talked to people online, but not in real life. So that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, okay, so these are MJ fans. We were talking and waiting for Janet, and I just remember I stood there for 5 hours before she came. So yeah, it was definitely like from around 4 p.m. till 9 p.m. So like at first, there weren't a lot of people there. It was just some of us fans waiting, and then more and more people started coming. Celebrities started arriving to the event, and I remember seeing Kanye West with Amber Rose. Maybe even Donatella Versace was there. I don't know, like I don't remember. I only cared about Janet. Like I said, I was so down back then. Right now, if I went to an event like that, I would be interested in like finding out who is also there. Like, I would look at these celebrities and be like, oh, well, you know, like that's interesting. I just remember seeing Kanye and Amber Rose, and I was like, oh, Kanye and Amber Rose. But yeah, so designers and stylists were coming and celebrities were coming. I don't remember who was there, but at one point this car came and there was Janet. She came out of the car wearing this long blue dress. It was tight, it was beautiful, it was pretty. She was absolutely gorgeous. Her makeup was popping, her hair was popping. She looked so beautiful. I remember, I don't just remember because I actually have a video, but like, I remember I started screaming, and I had this letter with me, and I started screaming. I was like, Janet, Janet, please come here, take this, Janet, Janet. And there's actually still a video on YouTube that a fan from Spain who was there uploaded. And in the video, you can kind of see what happened, but I remember it like from being there, so I can tell you a little more in depth. I was screaming, Janet, Janet, please take this, please take this. And also the other fans next to me were like, Janet, Janet, come here, come here. Because they also had like magazines, letters, things to sign. And Janet was about to go into the building, and there were all these photographers and paparazzis around her, and she saw us, and she saw us screaming for her. She kind of started making her way through the photographers, which I found so sweet. She started like coming towards us, and she took my letter. I was like, please take this. And she just took it. She was pretty close to me because when she came to us, she was getting closer and closer to us and to me and to my face. So I literally saw her go like this. I looked at her in the eyes. My first two thoughts were, one, she looks so much like Michael, like that is almost Michael's face. And two, her eyes look so sad. Like, I just remember thinking, those eyes are so sad. It was weird because it was a whole mix of beauty, Michael's face, and sadness. Maybe I was just making it up, but I don't think so. I really saw sadness in her eyes. Like, she didn't look happy at all. She looked gorgeous, beautiful, but she also looked so sad. Like, her eyes were sad. It was all in the eyes. It was just a very bittersweet moment because, of course, I was happy because I was right in front of Janet Jackson and I was able to give her this letter. I was standing right in front of her. I was looking at her in the face, but I saw so much sadness in her eyes. I was like, wow, damn, like she is really going through it. She had just recently lost her brother, who was not only her brother, but the world's biggest superstar, so that must have been so hard for her and for the whole Jackson family, of course. But like, I mean, you know, they were pretty close, so I feel like in her eyes I saw all that sadness of losing her brother, and she really looked like Michael, like a lot. I think she also took a few things from the people next to me. Most of them, like most of these fans, stayed there until after the event, and they had like magazines signed by Janet when she left. I didn't stay there. I was only 14. I had to go home. It was around, I think, 9:30 p.m. and my mom was like, hey, I'm gonna come pick you up. So I just went home, and I shouldn't have. All the other fans, well, most of them, stayed there, and they were able to have Janet sign things for them. So a few days later, I don't know if it was a few days later, maybe a few weeks later, I don't know, I was able to find the video of Janet arriving and taking the letter from me. I was also able to find a picture of Janet holding my letter, like the envelope of the letter, and I luckily still have those envelopes. I wrote the letter on this kind of letter set that I had and that I only use for very special occasions. So I had this letter set for like years. I mean, I got it when I was in elementary school. I've had this for so long, and I still have it, and I still have a few envelopes. So this is the box, and this is a brand called Diddle. It's these, I think it's a German brand. I think Diddle is the name of the mouse, and this is what we called, at least what we call Diddlina, so his girlfriend. I think I've had this since like 2004 or 5. This is the paper for the letter, and this is the envelope. So this is what the envelope looks like. So that was the story of me meeting Janet Jackson back in 2009, and I'm gonna put the video of our encounter right here. I hope you enjoy it. I look like this little ball just screaming. I mean, you can still see that that's me. I mean, I'm short and very white, so I think you can easily tell which one I am in the crowd. And I think I'm also like the first one that Janet goes to, so.
We love you, Janet! How are you, Janet?
Janet.
Oh!
No, vicinato.
Wonderful! You look so great, Janet! I love you, Janet! Woo! Janet! Oh, man! Janet! Sorry. Janet, here!
Janet, please,
We love you, Janet!
So yeah, this was my story, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon for other story times or collection videos. I don't know, but I'm gonna see you soon. Bye guys, thank you for watching. I almost forgot to show you the lipstick I'm wearing right now. It might not sound so important, but it is, especially if you love makeup and Michael Jackson. First of all, this is from a black-owned brand, which I love. It's called Oma Beauty, and they have amazing products. Well, I mean, I've only tried their lipsticks, but I've heard many positive things about them, and there are so many products that I would love to try. Look at the packaging. Look at the packaging. Doesn't that remind you of Michael's Bad album? This is called the Badass Icon Lipstick by Oma Beauty. And look at the font right here. Like, that's the Bad album font, and I absolutely love this. This is brilliant. It looks so good with Bad Tour or Bad album stuff. I literally just cleaned my room and there's still dust flying around. I don't understand this. So the packaging really looks like the Bad album. This is the shade Chaka or Shaka, not sure how to pronounce it, but it looks gorgeous. And look at how beautiful the lipstick is. And it also says Badass on here with the Michael Jackson Bad font. Not sure you can clearly see it. So beautiful. So yeah, I just quickly wanted to show you this lipstick. I almost forgot to mention that Oma Beauty's lipsticks take their names from iconic black women. So they have lipsticks called, for example, Whitney, Aretha, Tina, and so on. So that's pretty cool too. Okay, I'm done. Bye.